Okay. And so when we're ready, we'll make our way onto our backs and we'll have our straps somewhere close by. And the first thing that you'll do when you lie down on your back is just lie down on your back and notice what you notice, where the shoulders are in relationship to each other and to the floor, where the hips are in relationship to each other and to the floor and to your shoulders. And just simply noticing where your chin is. Is your chin jutting up to the ceiling? Is it drawing in towards the chest? Is it somewhere in between? And we'll see how all of that changes by the time we get to the end. So on your next exhalation, just simply draw your right knee into your chest. Grab your strap and plant the strap around the ball of your right foot. And then you'll send your right foot straight up towards the sky. And with the strap on the ball of the right foot, you can press up into your heel of the right foot. And let's work today just for a 90-degree angle in that thigh and that hip. So it's perpendicular to your pelvis. And then if you'd like, you can extend your left leg long beneath you on the floor. And you'll just take about 5 to 10 slow, deep breaths here. Noticing how it feels to press up through the right heel to pull down evenly with the strap. Are your shoulders crunching up towards the ears, or are they softening away from the neck? Can you take in deep belly breaths as you slightly draw your chin to your chest to keep the cervical spine, long? And you've got about 1 to 2 more breath cycles here, really pressing up through that right heel. And if the left leg is long, pushing down through the left heel. And then as you're ready, draw both ends of the strap into your right hand, open the left arm out to the left. It's out in a giant T shape. And if your right leg is still bent, the right knee will open to the right as the left leg will open to the left as the right leg opens to the right. And if the left leg is straight, the right leg just simply opens to the right. And you're going to push out through your right heel a lot. Pull back with the strap, and then notice what's happening in your abdomen. Can you turn your abdomen all the way to the left to keep your left hip rooted on the floor? And just take 2 to 3 more breath cycles here, pressing out through your right heel. Flexing through your right foot, rooting down through the left side of the pelvis. On your next in-breath, gently draw that leg back up to vertical and the left knee too if it opened out. And then from here, just pause, keep that left leg up. Then bend the right knee, or bend the left knee, put the left foot on the floor, bend the right knee, draw the knee into your chest, release the strap and cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. From here, draw the whole configuration of your legs to your chest, flex through that right foot a lot. And if you can, for today, see if you can press your right heel into the crook of your left arm. Sounds really strange, but if you've got the mobility, press that right heel into your left arm. Still holding on to your left thigh, and it just gives you a little bit more sensation as you push that heel into the arm. And then draw the left thigh closer to your chest and broaden through those collarbones. Notice what's happening in your right hip. Awesome sauce. And then very gently release your hands, bring the left foot to the floor, plant the right foot next to the left, and just pause and notice if anything feels different between the right and the left side. Does one thigh feel heavier, one half of the pelvis, one shoulder? And then when you're ready, you'll draw your left knee into your chest, draw the strap across the ball of your left foot, and send your left foot up towards the sky. And then we've got about 5 to 10 breaths on this side as well. So first things first, flex through your left foot, press up through your left heel, and then evenly pull down on that strap on the right and the left side. You might stay here with the right knee bent, or you might extend your right leg long beneath you. And if that right leg makes it too straight, press down through the right heel as much as you're kicking up through the left. And then notice your chin here. Can you slightly draw it in so the back of the neck stays long, front of the neck stays long? Notice any tension around your jaw. And just breathe very deeply into the abdomen as that left thigh roots down at a 90-degree angle. So it's just pressing straight down into the pelvis. Take your last breath cycle here as you reach up through the left heel. And then as you're ready, you'll grab both ends of the strap with your left hand. You'll open the right arm out to the right. Maybe the right knee flops to the right as the left leg opens to the left. And again, once you're there, see if you can engage your abdomen and draw your abdomen up and to the right. So it's countering the action of the left leg. Yep, there you go. To keep that right pelvis bum rooted. Keep pressing out through your left heel, and you've got one more breath cycle here. Nice job, guys. Next in breath, go ahead and come up to vertical. If the right leg is bent, or straight rather, bend the right knee. Bend the left knee. Remove your strap and cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Thread your hands through the hole of your legs and draw your legs towards your chest. Now, keeping this configuration here, you flex actively through that left foot, and maybe your left heel can reach to the inside crook of your right arm. And it just gives you something to press against as you open the left knee, and maybe you feel more stuff happening on your outer left hip. You've got about 2 more breath cycles here. And at the end of your next exhalation, gently release the right foot to the floor, release the left foot next to meet it. And just pause, hands alongside hips, feet hip distance apart, and just notice what you notice. Awesome sauce. Let's add on. Walk your feet in so they're underneath your knees a bit more, and keep the feet parallel towards one another. And then we're just going to do this to set the arms before we do the hips. So you'll inhale, reach your right arm up and over your head. As you exhale, lower the right arm back down and look to the left. There we go. Draw the head back to center. Inhale, lift the left arm up and overhead. And exhale, look to the right, lower the hand back down. Great. This time, draw the head back to center. Both arms reach up and overhead. Notice if both hands touch at the same time. And then exhale, draw both hands back alongside the hips. Now we'll do that, adding in the lift of the pelvis. So inhale, push through the feet to lift the hips, lift the right arm up, keep the head center. And then exhale, lower the hips down, look to the left. Draw the head back to center. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the left arm. And exhale, lower the hips, look to the right. Nice job, guys. Draw the head back to center. Inhale, lift both hips, lift both arms. And then exhale, lower the hips and lower the hands. And one more time, just that. Inhale, press through the feet, lift both hips, lift your right arm. And exhale, look to the left, lower the hips, lower the hand. Inhale, press through the feet, lift the left arm, head back to center. And exhale, lower the hips, look to the right. Great. Draw the head to center. Inhale, press through the feet, lift the hips, lift the arms. This time, keep the hips high and exhale, lower just the arms back alongside your feet. And we'll do 3 more just like that. So inhale, lift the arms, keep the hips high. And exhale, lower the hip, or lower the hands rather, keep the hips high. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift the arms, keep the hips high. And exhale, lower the hands alongside the feet. And last set. You'll inhale, push through the feet, lift the arms. And exhale, lower the hands and lower the hips this time. And then you'll just take a moment to pause. Notice what you notice. Go ahead and bend your elbows, little robot arms. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears and shoulder blades underneath you. And then inhale, push through the feet, push through the arms, lift your hips high. Once your hips are as high as they wish to be, walk the shoulders perhaps a little closer underneath you. You might then extend your hands underneath you and interlace your hands or grab the outer edges of your mat. Wherever you are, I'd like you to notice what's happening around C7. So that's the base of the cervical spine. Make sure that area is lifting up and away from the floor as you push down into the skull. As you push down into the feet, lift your hips. Press into the pinky toes just a bit more to lift the outer hips, and then press into your big toes just to roll the inner thighs down. And you've got 2 more breath cycles here. I encourage you to see if you can breathe into the back of the body between the shoulder blades, on the back side of the spine. And just notice what you notice. And at the end of your next exhalation, you'll gently unclasp the hands, untuck the shoulders, bring your pelvis back down to the floor and pause. Just notice how the shoulders feel. Notice how the hips feel. How does this relate to when we first started? Awesome sauce. Go ahead and extend your right arm over your head. Roll over onto your right side and make your way onto your abdomen. And you too might want to flip around. Yep. And then when you find yourself on your abdomen, plant your hands alongside your lowest ribs. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. So hands alongside lowest ribs. And then press down into your pinky toes and your big toes. Lift up through your inner thighs and lengthen your tailbone, buttocks, flesh back. On your next in-breath, isometrically pull the hands back to reach your heart forward and lift your head up. And then as you exhale, you'll lower slowly down, and you'll just do 3 more like that. So the inhale is an isometric pull back with the hands to lengthen the heart forward, to lengthen the tailbone and the toes back. And the exhale lowers you down. Awesome sauce. One more time. And then exhale, lower down. Okay, we're going to take it this last time. This last time when you come up, I want you to pay attention to how you're pressing into your pinky toes. Notice what happens if you press into your pinky toes a little bit more as you lengthen your tailbone back and come up for your height in cobra. And you'll just stay there for about 3 to 5 breaths. And then notice what happens as you press into the pinky toes and you lengthen your tailbone back. And then you draw the shoulders onto the back and lift the gaze perhaps 1 millimeter. Awesome sauce. On your next exhale, lower all the way down. Great. Go ahead and inhale and come up to hands and knees, tabletop position. And then from tabletop, let's just take a moment to pause. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. And then exhale, round through the spine, happy little cat pose. And you're going to stay in this for about 3 breaths. And I'd like you to push down through the L shape of your hands, index fingers and thumbs. See if you can drop your head a little bit more. Drop your tail a little bit more, and almost imagine that you're a duck with water just simply dropping off of its back, rolling down the shoulders into your arms and down into the floor. Awesome sauce. Take 1 more breath cycle here, really pushing the floor away, feeling that upper back round. And then on your next in breath, come to a neutral spine. So lower the belly down, lower the heart down, reach the crown forward. And we're going to stay here for about 2 breaths. So draw those front ribs in and back. There you go, Roberta. Lengthen your tailbone and pubic bone back and your crown forward. And just notice what this feels like to be in neutral. And then on your next exhalation, you're going to let your chest melt to the floor. Keep your arms straight. Let your belly melt to the floor. Keep your arms straight. Let your head melt to the floor. Keep your arms straight. Oh, buddy. So we're going back to Pete Egoscue's static back. And I want you to push down through your hands a lot as you let your heart melt, as you let your chest melt, as you let your belly melt, and you let your head melt. So you might find that after a little bit of time, you feel stuff happening up the backs of your arms. And that's okay. It's just going to take 2 to 3 more breath cycles here, keeping the arms as straight as possible while the belly sags like a cow from Wisconsin instead of a happy cow from California. And your head sags and your chest melts. Awesome sauce. Next in breath, keep your chest as it is, but just lift your head in line with your shoulders. And then I want you to push down through your hands so much that your upper back rounds back to that angry Halloween cat. Yep. And then inhale, melt the heart once again. So we're just going to do a few little serratus push-ups here. So you're just keeping the low belly neutral, you're keeping the head neutral, and you're just working around the shoulder blades. So push, there you go, standing, pushing and releasing. Nice, Roberta. You got 2 more. This is going to be one of the things we're going to do quite a few times today. So see if you can keep the abdomen pretty neutral and see if you can keep the head pretty neutral as you just push down into the floor to work the shoulder blades up and down. Yeah, awesome sauce. All right, go ahead and release that. Take any organic movement that feels better than that. You might take some twists, you might take some little child's pose, you might move around in some barrel rolls, but just allow yourself to explore, noticing how that feels. And then we'll go ahead and sit back for a moment. Take your hands and interlace your fingers and just take 3 to 4 figure eights. So you might be in toe squat, you might just be sitting in Vajrasana, doesn't matter. Whichever one feels best to you, and then go the other way. Notice that for some reason, one figure eight seems a lot easier to make than the other. It's like this weird brain problem. And once you feel like you're pretty balanced between the sides, you'll release that, take some twirls, and maybe just shake up your wrists. All right. When you're ready, if you're in toe squat, come forward and take a counter stretch. Okay. And then when you're ready to move on from that, we'll meet back in tabletop position. Okay, so we're going to do what we did earlier, what we did over the weekend. So we'll add into some aspect of that. So come to hands and knees. And you'll take an inhale here and then exhale, press back to that modified child's pose. So shin bones stay parallel, heart melts towards thighs. Inhale, come forward, a little baby cow shape, gaze forward. And then exhale, scoop the belly, bend the elbows, start to lower the chest to the belly, the forehead to the floor. You can repeat this as you'd like, or next time you'll inhale and come forward and lift your right leg up and back parallel to the floor. And then exhale, lower the right knee down, press back to that modified child's pose. The next time you'll inhale and come forward, maybe stay with all limbs on the floor or lift your left leg up parallel to the floor. And then exhale, lower the knee down, press back to that modified child's pose. You've got 4 more sets of these. So you'll just inhale and come forward, either cow shape or right leg lifts, belly stays engaged. And then exhale, lowering the knee down, pressing back. And then inhale, coming forward, maybe the left leg lifts. And exhale, lower the knee down, press back. Now, as you take these last 2 sets, see if you can allow the inhale to bring you all the way into that full expression, whatever your shape looks like, and the exhalation to take you all the way back to that modified child's pose. Nice work. Okay, one more time each side. This time, inhale, come forward, and you'll lift your right leg up parallel to the floor. Press down through both hands. Lengthen your tailbone back like you did when we were in that flat back shape, and your crown forward. And you might stay here with both hands on the floor or reach your left arm parallel and off of the floor. And again, we're going to stay here for about 3 to 5 breaths. So you reach out through the left hand, reach back through the right leg, hug into an imaginary wall between those limbs, and then see if you can keep lengthening tailbone back as your crown looks forward. Nice job. On your next exhale, lower the left hand, lower the right knee, press back to that little child's pose. See if all that can happen in one breath. Yep. And then you'll inhale and come forward, hands and knees. This time, left leg extends back. And we'll just take a moment to pause there. Square your hips, draw the low belly in, and press through both hands. You might then reach your right arm forward in opposition. And we've got a few breath cycles on this side. See if you can lift that inner left thigh a bit more. Yep, as you drop the outer left hip down and reach forward through your right hand, back through your left heel. Nice job. Next exhale, lower the limbs and press back to that modified child's pose. One long exhalation. Yay. Next in-breath, come forward to hands and knees. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips to downward facing dog. And you've got the first 3 to 5 breath cycles to just move around in any way that feels good to you. So you might just slowly bend one knee and then the other. You might simply just shift your pelvis right to left. You might stay completely in stillness if that works for you, but you've got these first few breaths to really just say, hello, body, how are you doing? Sometimes one of the things that brings us most joy is that problem solving of noticing that something feels a bit off and then making adjustments. And sometimes it's just being in intimate connection with ourselves, noticing where the breath is in the body, noticing how sensations feel in the body. Okay, let's go ahead and come to stillness wherever you're at. Bend both of your knees, press down through the L shape of your hands and lift up through your happy armpits. Wrap your triceps to the floor. Then from there, push your pelvis higher, send your inner thighs back, and then you might start to straighten the legs or not. But for today, especially if you're having low back stuff or crampy stuff, I want you to breathe into your belly. So imagine that your belly was a bellows and you could just really send a lot of breath into that, letting it balloon out and letting it balloon in, allowing the diaphragm to move the organs in the abdominal region to start to massage the abdominal region as well as the low back. You've got about 2 more breath cycles here. Awesome sauce. And then let's go ahead and add on. Inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Pause here. Keep your hips as square as you can and reach out through that right heel. And then as you exhale, knee to nose, round in. Carefully step that foot between your hands. Awesome. From here, just take a moment to pause. Reach back through your left heel a lot. Push down through your right heel a lot. Reach forward through your crown and lift your chest a little bit away from that right thigh. Awesome sauce. As you exhale, wrap your right arm underneath your right thigh to touch your left side body, wherever it touches. So right arm touches underneath. Yep. And then inhale, open that right arm out to the right and spin up to the right and a little twist to the right. There we go. And exhale, wrap that right arm underneath the right leg, touch the left body wherever you can touch it. There we go. And about 4 more of these. Inhale, open the right arm out, spin to the right. There we go. Exhale, wrap underneath you, belly draws and push into that right foot, round into the upper spine. Inhale, open the right arm out, keep lifting through your back hip. Yep. Exhale, wrap underneath, touch the left side body wherever you can. And last time, inhale, open out to the right. And exhale, wrap underneath. Okay, we'll take that last thing for 2 breath cycles. So inhale, open the right arm out to the right and just pause here. Keep lifting through your outer left hip, push down into your left hand, and then see if you can invite the belly on the right side to empty. So you can stack the right shoulder on the left just a bit more and maybe lean your head back just a bit. Yep, as you take a big breath in here. Nice job. On your next exhalation, lower the right hand outside of the right foot. Inhale, gaze forward, and exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Great work. From here, inhale, come forward into plank pose. And your choice, you can lower your knees down or not, but we're going to take about 5 serratus push-ups. So keep the tailbone lengthened back, keep your crown lengthening forward. Inhale here. And as you exhale, start to press the floor way round into the upper back, a little angry Halloween cat. And you've just got about 4 more of those. Noticing that you can just have this happen in the shoulders. And it doesn't need to happen anywhere else. The belly still draws in. Nice job. And after you've done 5, good job, guys. You'll return to plank if you lowered the knees down. Bend the knees quite a bit, and then press yourself back up to downward facing dog. And you'll just observe and notice what it feels like here. How does the spine feel? Can you push down into the shoulders, into the hands to find, there you go, Sandy, find space in your spine. Awesome sauce. Let's go ahead and try the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Pause here. Push down through the right heel a lot as you reach up through the left heel, trying to lift up through that inner left thigh. And then exhale, knee to nose. Slowly bring that foot to your face and then slowly lower it to the floor. Great. From here, you might want to walk your left leg a little bit further forward if you feel like you need more of a lunge, or slide your right leg back if you need more of a lunge. And then lift up through that inner right thigh, push down through your left foot. Next, exhale, sweep your left arm underneath your left side body to touch your right side body, wherever the heck it touches. Great. And then inhale, open the left arm out to the left, spin to the left, open up. Yep. And then exhale, wrap underneath you. And you've got 4 more of those, or 4 total. So inhale, opening out to the left, leaning back a little. Exhale, emptying the belly, pushing to the left foot, drawing in. Nice job, guys. Inhale, open out, rotate to the left. And exhale, wrap underneath, touch underneath. Great. Nice job. Okay, we'll say this is our last set. So the next time you open out towards the left, pause. You might walk the right hand back just a little bit so you can lean back a little bit more, but keep lifting up through that right hip. Keep drawing the outer left hip back, and then lift your right ear away from the floor just a little bit. There you go. So your head is parallel to the floor. On your next exhalation, lower the left hand down. And this time, just step back to plank pose. Pause for 3 breath cycles. See if you can isometrically draw the hands back to reach the heart forward. And then once again, little 5 serratus push-ups. This time you might do it from plank, or you might lower the knees down. But again, see if this can happen just in the shoulders, so the belly doesn't drop, the head doesn't drop. We're not little sad cows from Wisconsin. I don't know if cows are sad from Wisconsin, but the cows from the California commercial are happy cows. Happy cows come from California. I liked that commercial. Okay, after you've done 5 of these, Roberta, press back to downward facing dog. And you'll just take 3 breath cycles here and notice what you notice. So the knees being bent allows you to blossom through your buttocks, as Cayenne would say, and lift your hips a little higher and find that length in your low back. And then you can use your abdomen as a bellows to really massage the low back. Deep inhalations and deep exhalations. All right, let's add on. Inhale, gaze to the top of your space. As you exhale, bend the knees, empty the belly, and travel to the top of your space. Nice work. Once you get there, you'll just take a moment to pause. Make sure feet are hip distance apart. And then slide your hands up your shin bones. Lift your spine halfway. Pause. Bend your knees as much as you need to draw your spine parallel to the floor. Press your shins into your hands and shift your weight forward so the weight is balanced between your, And then from there, draw the shoulders away from the ears. And like your little turtles, I want you to draw your turtle head out of your turtle shell. And then, yep. And then tuck the chin to the chest just a little bit to press into the back of the skull. Nice little turtles. From here, draw one hand to one hip and the other hand to the other hip. And again, breathe into the bellows of your belly as you continue to reach your turtle crown forward. Draw the shoulders onto your back. Yep. All right. Inhale, come up to vertical. And exhale, push down through your hips to root down through your feet to root down through the legs. Nice job. Okay, lower the hands down. Cross your left leg in front of your right. Left leg in front of your right, just like a little kickstand. Yep, little curtsy. Okay, Sandy, you might want to take your leg a little bit more to the right, and then open your arms out to the right and left. And then from here, you'll bring your left arm on top, right arm underneath. Maybe bring backs of hands to touch, maybe fronts of hands to touch. Lift your elbows in line with the tops of your shoulders, and then start to bend your right knee as much as you want. That left leg can stay over there, kickstand on the floor, or if you'd like, you can hug the outer shin bones together, drawing the left leg towards the right leg, or wrapping the left leg behind the back of the right calf. And you just have 2 more breath cycles here, pushing down into your right foot, hugging the outer right shin against the outer left shin. Now, when you're ready, if the left leg came behind you, tap it out to the right. Gently straighten the right leg, unwind the arms, and release the left leg. Awesome sauce. We'll try that on the other side. So the right leg crosses over the left, out to the left. Arms open out to the right and to the left. And then give yourself a hug with your right arm on top. Then maybe bring backs of palms to touch or fronts of palms to touch. Lift your elbows in line with the tops of your shoulders and then start to bend your left knee. You might keep that right foot out to the left, or you might start to hug the outer shin bones together. You might even sneak that right foot behind the back of your left calf. And you've got about 2 more breath cycles here, keeping the spine long, keeping the breath even. And then gently, if you took that right leg in, lower the right leg to the left. Gently straighten the left leg, unwind the arms, and uncross the leg. Awesome sauce. All right, let's add on. So let's go ahead and stand at the top of our space after you got your wiggle worms out. Oh, I like that, wiggle worms. Like glow worms. Okay, and then let's try a Surya A. So for today, let's bring our hands to heart center just to see how this works on our shoulders. So you'll inhale and blossom the hands up like a tree. And then exhale, hands come back through heart center, fold at your hips, forward fold. Nice job. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step back, plank pose. Nice job. Pause here for a breath, pushing down through the hands. On your next in-breath, shift your weight forward. And as you exhale, lower slowly down to your belly, slower than you want to. Head stay lifted, slower than you want to, head stay lifted, slower than you want to, head stay lifted, slower than you want to, head stay lifted. Hooray! When you get down, extend the tops of your feet to the floor, press down into the pinky toenails, especially lift up through those inner thighs. Then slowly pull yourself forward into cobra. And you've got 3 slow breath cycles to get here. So you can take the first to come up a little bit and then go up a little higher, but keep reaching back through the tailbone, keep pressing down into the pinky toes, keep drawing the shoulder blades onto your back body. Nice job, guys. And then exhale, you'll slowly lower down to the floor. Yogi's choice, tuck the toes under, come up through tabletop or plank. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Awesome sauce. Let's add on. Inhale, gaze to the top of your space. Exhale, bend the knees, empty the belly, travel to the top of your space. Nice, Roberta. Nice, Sandy. Inhale, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, fold all the way back in. And then one more time, let's come back up to halfway and we're gonna pause here. Press your hands into your shins into your hands. Bend your knees as much as you need to blossom your buttocks behind you. And then reach your turtle head forward, but then slightly draw the chin to your chest and your chest to your chin to feel that elongation, and then wrap the shoulders onto the back and away from your ears. Nice. Draw your hands to your hips. Take 3 breaths here, drawing the elbows towards each other on the back. Yep, the chin slightly into the chest as your crown reaches forward. Yep, nice job. On your next inhalation, come up to vertical, push down through the hips, push down through the legs, push down through the feet, reach up through the crown. And then gently release your hands. Okay. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up, happy little trees. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step your left leg long and back. Lower your left knee down and inhale, come up, lowering for the right hand onto the right thigh, left arm high. Great. Now just take a big breath in here. As you exhale, push through your right foot, shift your pelvis back and out of the shape just a little. And then inhale, coming into the shape, reaching up through your left arm. And you got 4 of these. And you're just noticing what's happening in your psoas on the left side. You're also noticing what's happening in your back on the left side. Sometimes we have a lot of low back stuff happening when our psoas gets really, really tight. And so if that's happening for you, no worries, you're in good company. All this sitting is not very helpful for most of us. So let's just breathe. And you got one more little pulsation of your breath. And then the next time you are pushing up, you're going to pause. You've pushed back a little bit. You've taken your exhale. You can bring your right hand to the front of your left low ribs. See if you can draw them down and in. So it sounds really weird, but you're going to draw your ribs down and into your back body as you reach up through your left arm. That probably has intensified what's going on your left leg. No worries. Squeeze your left butt cheek, and maybe you stay here just drawing the ribs down and back. Maybe you reach your right arm up. Maybe you grab your your left wrist and take a little side bend over to your right, but you're still drawing those front ribs in and back. So you're hollowing the belly here as you're breathing into your left side body. Whoo, hello, psoas. Hello, latissimus dorsi. Hello, intercostal muscles. We're breathing. And on your next in-breath, you'll come back up to center. As you exhale, hands come forward, tuck the back toes under, step yourself back. Happy downward facing dog. Awesome sauce. And then if you'd like, you'll inhale and come forward into a plank, lower through a chaturanga, come into an up dog, and press yourself back to a downward facing dog. And you're just pausing and you're breathing and you're noticing what's happening in your physical being. Nice, guys, look at you go. Awesome sauce. All right, inhale, gaze to your hands. Exhale, bend the knees, empty the belly, travel to your fingers. Nice work. From there, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold all the way in. Hands on your shins, inhale, halfway lift. Pause, push your fingers into your shins into your fingers. See if you can bend the knees just a bit to blossom your buttocks behind you. And then little turtle shells. And then this time I want you to pay attention just to the abdomen as you draw your hands to your hips. So let the abdomen support the back body as the elbows still creep towards each other on the back, as the sternum reaches forward and the chin draws in just a bit. And on your next in-breath, draw yourself all the way up to vertical. Exhale, energy down into the legs. Great. Last time, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up through center, gaze up, look up. And then exhale, fold at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. Nice job. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms. This time, step your left leg, right leg long and back, other leg long and back. There we go. Lower your right knee down to the floor, and then bring your spine up to vertical. Left hand on top of left thigh, right arm reaches up. And we've just got these little pulses here. So the inhalation is what draws you forward into the shape of it, and the exhalation is what draws you out. And you're just paying attention to little tiny movements. You might not even be able to see it on the screen, but it's really little tiny movement. Gently telling our psoas and hip flexors, hello, it's okay for you to open up. My chronic sitting is not the way we need to be all the time. And then the next time you press back, we're going to go ahead and pause. So you're pressing back, your left hand can come to the front of your low belly, and you really want to push your ribs down and then back and in towards you until you feel like a little bit more lengthening is happening on your right front hip flexor. And then you might just choose to stay there and be like, yep, that's what I'm going to breathe today, reaching up through your right fingers. You might reach your left arm up, and you might just stay there or grab your right hand and little lift up and pull over to the left as you continue to hug and hollow those front ribs in and back. Maybe lightly squeeze your right butt cheek as you say hello, hip flexors. Hello, latissimus. Hello, intercostals. We're breathing on the right side of our body. Awesome sauce. Next in breath, gently come up through center. And then as you exhale, shift your weight forward, tuck the toes under, shift your weight back, downward facing dog. Your choice, whether you cycle through an up dog or cobra or not. Nice, Roberta. Nice, Sandy. Roberta, shift your weight forward for me just a little bit. Hollow out your armpits and wrap your triceps to the floor. And then see if you can keep that as you push your hips up and back. Yeah, okay. All right, Let's add on. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. As you exhale, knee to nose, round through your spine a lot. Then carefully step that foot between your hands. Nice. From there, step your left foot slightly to the left and put it down for warrior one. Pause. Like you're a runner at the marks, draw your right hip back, but reach your heart and sternum forward. And on your next inhalation, bring your spine all the way up to vertical. Nice job, guys. Cool. From here, open your arms out to the right and to the left and interlace your fingers behind your low back. Now, just as we've been doing for the past few weeks, I want you to see if you can tilt your shoulders slightly forward of your hips. And then notice if you can lift your head a little bit so your gaze isn't careening to the floor, but it's still staying on top of your head. So little turtle spines are staying on top of our heads. So Sandy, you can lift your head just a little bit. And Roberta, lift your gaze just a little bit. So we don't need to look down. We can just keep that gaze. And let's bend our elbows slightly, hug your elbows towards each other. And then I want you to push down into the knife edge of your back foot and see what's happening on the front inside edge of your back thigh. And breathe deeply, deeply, deeply into your belly. Breathe deeply, deeply, deeply into your shoulder blades. And see if you can soften any tension around your neck that you don't need. Awesome sauce. On your next in-breath, go ahead and straighten your front leg long. And then as you exhale, scoop the belly and start to hinge your hips until you're at a 90-degree angle. You might need to bend that front knee just a bit if our hamstrings are like, Jessica, that's not going to work. You might choose to stay here or lower your left hand down to the inside edge of your right foot. Maybe it's on a block, maybe it's on the floor. Keep your right hand on your right hip. And then inhale, lift your spine parallel to the floor. Happy little turtles coming out of your shells. Exhale, empty the belly on the right side and start to rotate your rib cage to the right. Keep lifting your outer left hip as you rotate to the right. You might extend your right arm up to the sky for a revolved triangle. Happy days, you guys are doing it. Awesome. Sandy, draw your outer right hip back just a bit more as you push down into that right big toe mouth. And then see if you can lean your heart and head back. Oh yeah. Next exhale, lower the right hand to the floor, bend the front knee, and then step yourself back to downward facing dog. Okay, now this time, we'll just inhale and come forward into plank, lower into chaturanga, take a complete breath cycle there, press back up into plank, and then press back up into down dog. Look at you two go, strong people. Awesome sauce. Okay, and then we'll try all that on the other side. So go ahead and inhale, lift your left leg high, reach out through that left heel, and then exhale, knee to nose, carefully draw that leg forward and carefully plant it down. Nice work. Step the right foot to the right, spin the foot down, and pause for a moment. Draw the left hip back as you reach the heart forward. And on your next in-breath, come all the way up for Virba 1. Nice. Great. Now from here, open the arms out and bring them behind you again, but awkward opposite interlace behind your low back. And let's take a moment to pause on this side for a bit. Push down into your front foot a lot, push down into your back foot a lot, and see if you can square your shoulders more towards the top of your space. Your hips might not go, but as long as the shoulders go. And then open that left knee out so it tracks over the center of your left foot. There you go. And then notice if the shoulders can be slightly forward of the hips, and at the same time, long on the front of the neck, long on the back of the neck. Maybe lift the gaze if it's careening towards the floor. Nice job. There you go, Sandy. And then you're just going to breathe into the back of the body. The belly still bellows, but we're noticing what's happening in the upper back as we bend the elbows slightly and draw the shoulder blades onto the back body, draw the elbows towards one another. Awesome sauce. Next in-breath, go ahead and straighten your left leg. Spine might be more vertical now. And then as you exhale, draw that left hip back, reach your heart and chest forward, hinging at your hips halfway. Pause. You might stay here, slight bend in the front knee. Otherwise, lower that right hand to the floor inside the left foot, maybe to block, maybe to floor. Left hand stays on pelvis. Draw the left hip back, reach the spine parallel to the floor. And then to make this twist happen, push down into the right hand. Push down so much that you can scoop the belly on the left side and start to rotate to the left. There you go, Roberta. And then you might start to reach that left arm high. Slight bend in front knee, Roberta. Yeah, and then Sandy, you can lean back just a bit. Yep. On your next exhalation, go ahead and lower that left hand to the floor. Shift your weight forward, low lunge. And step back, downward facing dog. Okay, one more time, little plank push-up thing. All right, so inhale, come forward. Exhale into chaturanga. Stay there for a complete breath cycle. And then when you need to, you'll press back to plank. Yeah, and back to down dog. And then momentary respite in child's pose. Lower your knees to the mat. They're as close or as far apart as you need them to be. Pause the breath. Breathe, 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 breathe. Great. And then gently you'll bring your spine up to vertical. Now this is where I'd initially inserted toe squat, which is much later in the sequence than when we did it earlier, but we're going to do it again. So go ahead and come forward, hands and knees. Before we do it on this side though, this time, please bring your blocks to the outer edges of your feet, hip things, and I encourage you to turn them on their highest setting because we're going to use it as a little segue. So you're going to come into your little toe squat and you're going to make sure your pinky toes are tucked under. You're going to sit nice and tall through your spine. And then from here, I want you to just bring your hands out to the right and to the left. So a little bit of distraction. Inhale and exhale as the thumbs turn up and as the thumbs turn down. And we're just trying to see if this can happen just at the humerus, the upper arm bone, allowing that to rotate in the shoulder joint versus using the radius and the ulna, which are the two bones in the lower part of the arm. Okay, awesome sauce. And once you feel like you've done that, turn your thumbs to the floor, sweep your arms back behind you and see if you can interlace your hands. Then hug the elbows towards each other, hold the shoulder blades onto your back and lengthen your buttocks flesh down, your tailbone down, front ribs back, and see if you can reach the heart forward. Awesome sauce. And then turtle shell your head, neck, away from your turtle shell your head, neck. Wow, that's funny. And then you'll gently release the hands, come forward, tops of the feet to the floor, pitter patter your toes, happy little temper tantrum if you'd like. And then conversely, you'll shift your weight back and lift one or both knees up and away from the floor. Okay. And then from here, we're going to enter into Ustrasana, but from toe squat. So our blocks are here. Your toes will curl back under. And you can just keep your hands here on the blocks if this works for you. You can at some point bring your hands to your feet, but you're going to separate your knees about hip distance apart. So they're not as close as they normally are for toe squat, even though your toes are still tucked under. Cool. Now from here, walk your blocks back just a little bit, and you're going to push down through your blocks to curl your tailbone under and start to push your pelvis forward. And you're just going to go as far as you want. You might just stay right there. You might bring your hands to your heels, and that will deepen the shape just a little bit. And then if you turn your hands to the inside edges of your feet versus the outside edges of your feet, that deepens the shape even more. But your shoulder blades are on your back. Your inner thighs are lengthening back behind you, tailbones drawing down to the floor, heart and sternum are lifting up. Awesome sauce, guys. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly reverse that. So you're going to round back down to your toe squat position. Oh, buddy, man. Lift your feet enough to release your toes to the floor. And then just take a moment to pause. Did that go okay? Roberta, did that feel okay on your back? Yeah, you guys seem to do quite well with that. Do we want to try it again or do we want to move on?
Does try it again mean we do like something more in it or just the same thing again?
Same thing again.
That's fine.
You'd like to do that again?
Or we can keep going. Camel's easy for me.
Okay, so let's move on then. So Go ahead and extend your legs in front of you, Dandasana, staff pose. So bring your bums to the floor and extend your legs in front of you, Dandasana, staff pose. There we go. And you're just going to take a moment to pause here. I want you to bring your hands alongside your lowest ribs. Bring your hands alongside your hips, and you're going to hug your elbows towards each other, heart and sternum reach forward. And you're just going to pause here. You might choose to stay right here and be like, yep, just because this is what I'm doing. You might walk one foot in, you might walk the other foot in, and you might choose to stay there and be like, yep, this is where I'm going. You might push down through the feet, lift up through the hips, and take that reverse plank, tabletop position. And you'll just pause and you'll breathe. Again, shoulders coming onto back, chin is reaching towards your sternum, sternum's reaching to your chin. Maybe gaze gently comes up to the sky. And then you'll gently lower your pelvis back down, extend your legs back long, back to Dandasana, staff pose. And you're just going to see how tall you can sit. And then from here, we'll cross our ankles and sit for a moment in Sukhasana. And again, how tall can you sit? Can you keep the shoulders over the hips, the head over the shoulders? Cool. Gentle twist. Left hand comes to the outside edge of your right knee. Right hand comes back behind you. And then you'll just lift up tall through the spine. Evacuate the belly on the right side to draw your left ribs towards your right armpit. Draw your left ribs towards your right knee. Keep evacuating the belly on the right side as you sit up tall through the spine. And it's just a simple, gentle twist. Ideally, more of it's happening from the inner body versus the pull of that left hand, push of the right hand. But you'll see what you see as you go about it. And we've got one more breath cycle here, just allowing the body to naturally unwind. And then you'll inhale and come back through center, right hand, right knee, left hand, left knee, pause, see what you see. And we'll go to the other side. So right hand to the outside edge of left knee, left hand back behind you. Inhale, sit tall through your spine. And then exhale, start to evacuate the belly on the left side. And that naturally starts to draw the right ribs towards the right armpit. Starts to draw the right armpit towards the left inner thigh, left knee. And then again, you're just allowing this to unwind from internally. So we're not trying to force anything with that right hand or the push of the left. We're just allowing the body to naturally unwind itself for us. And really breathing into the abdomen as best as you can, softening any tension around your neck and shoulders. Awesome sauce. Next in breath, come back through center. Hands on knees, pause. Gently, you'll then draw your soles of your feet to touch. Hands will grab the outer ankles. You'll pull your heart and sternum through. And then you might hinge forward or you might stay exactly as you are for Baddha Konasana. But we've got about 3 to 5 breath cycles here, and you're just observing and noticing what you notice. Last 2 breath cycles here. And very gently, you'll come up and out of the shape. Draw your knees towards each other and make your way onto your back. Please make sure your strap is somewhere nearby and make sure your blocks and your blanket are also somewhere nearby should you need/want them. And then once you make your way onto your back, you're just going to notice what you notice at this point in time. How does the neck feel? How do the shoulders feel? How do the hips feel? And then go ahead and draw your right knee into your chest. Draw the strap around the ball of your right foot and send your right foot back up to the sky. So we're back to where we started. And I want you to just notice that by taking a perpendicular angle this time, so still 90 degrees, not an extreme hamstring stretch, you can press up through the right heel a lot, and you might choose to keep the left knee bent, or you might extend the left leg long. But in either case, notice what's happening this time on the right side of your pelvis. Does it feel like it's rooting straight down and it's like a puzzle piece fitting snugly into its mate? Does it not? No worries either way. You're just taking a moment to check in, and then check in with your shoulders and your neck and see if they're creeping up to your ears. Check in with your chin and seeing if it's jutting up to the sky at all. And then that left leg, if it's straight, is as active as the right. And then gently go ahead and pause. Bring both ends of the strap into your right hand. Open the left arm out to the left. And the right leg opens to the right as the left knee maybe opens to the left. And then empty the belly again, drawing the abdomen to the left to draw the left bum closer to the floor as you reach out through the right heel. There you go. And on your next in-breath, you'll come back up through center. Gently bend the left knee if it's straight, bend the right knee, and release the strap. And plant both feet on the floor, so we're not going to do a whole complete reversion. And then draw the left knee into the chest, left foot goes into the strap, and then send the left foot up to the sky. And again, press up through that left heel, press up through the left ball of the foot. Make sure it's a perpendicular angle, so just a 90-degree angle. And the right leg might stay bent, the right leg might be straight beneath you, but you're just going to take a moment to pause and breathe. Soften any tension around your neck and shoulders. Notice if you're choking up on that strap too much, or if you can soften any tension that's not needed there. We've got about 2 more breath cycles here. And then gently, we'll open the right arm out to the right, hold both ends of the strap with that left hand, and let the left leg open out to the left. Maybe the right knee opens out to the right if the knee is bent. And then draw the abdomen in and to the right to keep more weight into the right side of your pelvis. Reach out through your left heel, press out through the left big toe mound as you pull back through the 4th and 5th toes. Yep. And on your next in-breath, you'll come back through center. Gently bend the right knee if it's straight, bend the left knee, remove your strap, and plant both feet on the floor. This time, walk your feet a little wider than your hips. Let your knees knock in towards each other, and then give yourself a hug with your arms. So your arms wrap around your body, and let the elbows rest on top of each other and the elbows rest on top of the chest in whatever way is comfortable for you. And you'll just take about 3 to 5 slow, steady breaths here. And again, breathe into your belly. Hello, happy belly. And for today, your Shavasana can stay in this shape, or you can make your way directly to Supta Baddha Konasana. And once we find ourselves established in our final shape, your awareness is still on your belly. So every time you breathe in, or your body breathes in, just observe and notice what movement happens in the abdomen. And every time you breathe out, just observe and notice what happens in the abdomen. As best as you can, release all effort. So you're not really trying to direct or control the breath in any way. You're just watching it as the body breathes in and watching it as the body breathes out. Whenever the mind happens to wander, no worries. Just notice that and bring it back to the abdomen, watching it move in and watching it move out. Gently return your awareness to your breath and just take a moment to check in. If you are happily content here and there's a part of you that's longing to stay in this shape for a few more moments, a few more breaths, by all means, please hang out here. When you are ready to move forward, you'll start to allow small movement to re enter your physical form in whatever way feels nurturing and nourishing to you, whatever brings you joy. If you are in movement, start to make your way to one of your sides. And if you are in stillness, please remain in stillness as long as you'd like. You'll gradually make your way up to a tall and comfortable seat. And then you'll just take a moment as you're seated to make sure shoulders are over hips, ears are over shoulders, and it feels like the hands can slide back enough that the heart just lifts. I can't really speak for either of you, but I think that the things that bring us, bring me the most joy are really those things that help us feel of service, that make us feel of like our lives have purpose, whether that's the relationships and the intimacy and the connections that we have, whether that's really helping solve certain problems or puzzles, or whether that's really understanding the stories that are in our lives and in the lives of others. When we feel like we're living our dharma, is the word for it, we experience a greater sense of joy more easily. And so as we go back into the rest of the world, I'd like us to remain mindful of all the small things that help point us on our way, that let us know we're a bit more joyful and happy and fulfilled. Okay, go ahead and draw your hands to heart center. Press the palms towards each other. Receive the weight of thumbs and lift the sternum. Lower your chins towards your chest and just say an internal prayer of gratitude for the joys that are in your life. And then the light within me, the joy within me, would like to honor and salute the light and the joy within each of you. Namaste.